Hey, y'all. Happy Monday. Did y'all have a good Easter? I had a really good time. It went by fast, but I had a good time. So if I didn't see you before, happy belated Easter. But it's Monday, and we got to get back into the shenanigans. You know, so far, Diddy, good gosh, Diddy, Sean Combs, Puffy, he been taking over our airways. But that's another story for another day. Because right now we got to talk Real Housewives of Potomac. This was season 8, episode 19. And I don't know if I'm going to be tuning in next year because I'm over it. Oh my God. And then I heard that Ken Fields and what's the name is coming back to Roa. Ken Fields, I love Ken Fields, but Ken Fields, she couldn't handle Roa when she was first on it. We're going to see what this Roa is about when it comes back on. I mean, I'll check it out, but I got to determine whether I'm going to use my energy to recap, the show. Because it's a lot of energy. This reunion part 1 last night, I was frustrated to the point where I literally wanted to write Andy Cohen. If I knew that he would actually get my letter and read it, I would write to him. Because last night was a whole train wreck. And Jazelle is on her high horse. And somebody really needs to take her down. Now, these are Diva's opinions. I feel like they finally fired Robyn because they was tired of the disrespect. So they let her get away with it for years, saying, oh, Juan is working. That's why he didn't come to the reunion. But now they know he's jobless. And he still didn't show up. So look at y'all stupid. I would have told my husband, listen, just come there, get through the hour, the 3 hours, or whatever the taping is going to be. Get through it, because we need this check. Let's keep it 100. Do you want to be in the poorhouse again? We need this check. So put your suit on, get on this flight, and answer Andy questions. Andy will go light on you. And it's going to be no, come on, if Gordon showed up, you better talk about him, Mo. And you know what? I'm glad you remind me of that, because you know what? Gordon's a real G. Yes, he is. Because he showed up knowing his wife is dumping him, knowing his wife got a whole nother man, and he even spoke to the man in the dressing room. Give it up for Gordon in that chat. He a real G. He showed up. And you know what? We need to write Andy, because Andy needs to give Gordon a check just because. 1, because he needs it. He needs it. And 2, because he showed up. And he catching the fire in the heat. And being disrespected by his wife. But he showed up. He sure did, Mo. He showed up. Yes, Gordon. Come on now. He showed up. He shake that. Happy Monday, Tay-Tay. He showed up. And Juan punk behind. You said y'all 28 years in the game. 28 years in the game, Robyn, and he got nothing but disrespect for you. I got friends that are 28 years deep in with it. And I could tell them to show up, and they showing up. I got a few girlfriends right now. If I call them and said I feel like I'm about to pass out, come take me to the hospital, they be in their car blowing traffic lights. And these are just my girlfriends. Your man that you've been in, she don't have no respect for herself. You better talk about it, Sebastian. 28 years. and he can't show up for you so y'all won't miss out on the check. Y'all both stupid. Yeah, the hurt was in GI's. It's hard for me to watch. And I'm that chick that I'm gonna respect you too. Is officially I'm gonna respect you, period. But if you my husband and we breaking up, I'm gonna respect you to the end, and I'm gonna have extra respect for you if we got some kids together. Why can't people just grow the heck up? Nobody wants to be adulting. Nobody's adulting. Like, come on now, be an adult. For you to be on TV, Mia, where your kids can potentially see this, and you in your phone like a freaking kid, talking to your boyfriend, and your estranged husband is there that you didn't divorce yet, talking about, hey, babe, I love you, babe. Yeah, don't I look good? I got a split. And that punk behind is on the phone. Why would you do that to your kids? Selfish. Come on now. Selfish. Oh, yeah, I got a split. I'm showing that. Oh, you look beautiful. Love you, babe. What? Sometimes I'm watching this and I'm just like, I can't believe I can't even. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Now, listen, with this part, this is just my opinion. Tomatoes, whatever you want to call it. But when I put the puzzle pieces together from last night's show, Gizelle wanted Candiace gone. And for that, she's trash. She wanted Candiace gone. So you caught the little breadcrumbs. Gizelle brought up this whole, oh, because of what Candiace did, I was getting threats. And you know, we gotta be careful here, y'all. YouTube. I was getting threats and my kids was getting threats, and it was all because of what Candiace said to me. The reason why I didn't say anything is because y'all said y'all was going to talk to her. So you went to HR on Candiace? She's evil. Come on now, Miss G. She's evil. She's evil. So you would think you would have a little humbleness in you because you dealt with the passing of your dad. You sit there and you mock Candiace. And then you lied and wanted to backtrack and act like you wasn't alluding to the fact that Chris was trying to do something to you. Come on, Brandon, you ain't lying. Thank you for the super chat. Mia stunning for a good contract. She sure did. I feel for G. You better talk about it, Felicia. Some HR department Bravo has. Well, we know HR and Bravo is a hot mess anyway. Hot mess. Hot mess. So that's why if you go back to the last episode with the fight with, I'm going to call her Key and Deborah and all of that, Candiace said, somehow I'm going to get blamed for this also. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. She said that because she already knew that Gizelle was blaming her for the threats. And now she said, now you're going to tag on this fight and they're going to blame it on me. And that all is going to be a whole big mess as to why Candiace got to go. And I think the best they could do is they put Candiace on pause. That's why she sat on that couch and said, we all have gotten threats. We all have gotten threats based upon something somebody said on this couch. And so why am I all of a sudden the only reason why this girl was getting the threats? Gizelle is trash. You got this young girl who has a husband, because it's called the Real Housewives of Potomac. She actually has a husband. You don't. And she got to go, but you get to stay. And Gizelle was shocked when she came out there. Who's sitting here? Not you. You're not sitting next to Andy. That's who's sitting there, not you. Now slide on down. And next year, I hope she's at the end of the couch. And then the year after that, I hope she's gone. Now, y'all know I ain't want to be over here taking away somebody's job, but Gizelle is messy and she's a liar. She know that she was alluding to, what are you scared of? If he asked you to go in there and you said, okay, and I don't know how he knew your room was empty, but you said, okay, so why did you make a big deal about it? And what pissed me off with Andy was when he was like, oh, I'm getting word in my ear that you did say that, Gizelle. No, you know that girl lying. She's lying on Candice and it was wrong. And y'all ready for this? Because y'all know we fight when it comes to Potomac, right? Y'all always fighting me. But I want to see if y'all going to keep it 100 tonight. Y'all think her girl Wendy took up for her? Y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. Have a conversation with me. Do y'all feel her girl Wendy took up for her? Candice was on that couch solo. Solo. Gizelle is a liar. A whole liar. And they let her get away with it. I didn't say that. When did I say that? Girl, you said it. You said it multiple times. And you're trash. Now, Karen said she got a facelift or did something to the face. Well, woo, woo, woo. And you know I love the Grand Dame. Well, okay, we're going to move on. Now, some of them look better in person in terms of their face beat than they did in the pictures. Candice's face beat was nice. Nneka had a nice face beat. Gizelle looked nice. I'll give that to her. It was the best she ever looked at a reunion, if you ask me. Robyn looked a hot mess. And Robyn's another one. Because when Andy asked who's ready to take accountability, Gizelle was like, well, I'm ready for somebody to take accountability. I don't like her. She's messy. Beautiful daughter. And when they show moments with Gizelle and her daughter, you see another person. You see another person. But I see how Gizelle and Jamal Bryan were together. They probably two peas in a pod. Gizelle she's messy, she's childish, she's a mean girl. She is. Are we doing name calling now? Girl, we are. We are. Yes, we are. Because what you said about my husband was wrong. Now everybody want to try to come with the props after what's her name? Monique came with the binder that they didn't let her use. They do the brown girls so dirty. The brown girls be having evidence and they never get to use it. Or they dismiss it. They ain't let Monique use that binder. Because she had the facts in that binder. And ever since then, everybody want to try to come with the props and they don't mean nothing. Y'all taking up for the broke. Listen, let me say this. When it comes to right and wrong, if you follow me over here, I roll what I feel is right all day long, whether I like the person or not. That's what I do. If I feel it's right, I roll with it, whether I like the person or not. But listen, guys, I done talked enough. This is a Real Housewives of Potomac recap, Season 8, Episode 19, Reunion Part 1. Mia, a mess. Gizelle, a mess. Robyn, a mess. Nneka is just a seat holder. You know how sometimes at the award shows, they need an extra person? Somebody to sit in the seat in case the star got up and went to the bathroom and they want the camera to pan around. They don't want to see an empty seat. You're a seat holder. She a seat filler. That's what Nneka was. And then they all tried to tell Candiace that doesn't qualify as essay. Y'all better go sit down somewhere and stop sounding stupid. That woman alluded to the man doing something or trying to do something to her. Let's be clear. Gizelle know what she did. And when the tables come turning back on Gizelle, she's not going to like how it feels. She needs to be put on pause. She needs to be a friend of next year. Let me bring the people in the building because I'm getting madder and madder the more I talk up here. What do I need? People in that chat, I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It's Monday night and it's time for the recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. It is season 8, episode 19. And what is it? Reunion part 1. I'm going to go ahead and bring the people on in the building. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Savannah. Emmanuel. Sebastian.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Diva.
Oh.
Choo-choo.
Hey, y'all.
Actually, let's get ready. Not choo-choo.
Hello. Oh,
Hey.
by the way,
Yes.
that was an April Fool's prank about Kim Fields coming back.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
They got you, Diva. They got you.
They didn't get me because I was like, what? No Kim Fields coming back. What about the other one? That was April Fool's too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel better now. I feel better because I was just like, what the heck? I can't picture her. She couldn't handle it in the first place. Okay, they did get me. All right. So listen, we're going to get into this reunion. On one side of the couch, we had Karen, the Grand Dame, Gizelle, Robyn, and Nneka. Then we had Mia, Candice, Wendy, and Ashley. The Grand Dame was grand dominant. And she sat there and she does her thing. And, she did what she had to do. Gizelle, whatever. Robyn looked a hot mess in person. And it looked like they didn't put the braids down low enough and close enough to her head before they slapped that wig on her head. And then Nneka, she's there. Maybe we're going to see, as time goes by, maybe Nneka's going to have a part in this. Mia, she was playing up that first seat. Yes, she was. Candice, you did the darn thing. You survived that reunion part run because they came for your neck. It was gaslighting you. It was dreadful. Somebody's not, Sebastian, you mute your line.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. Okay.
He's just giving Emmanuel his reads since he's up first.
Wendy was Wendy and Ashley was Ashley. Glow is not open yet. And guess what? Now that she ain't getting this check, we'll see if it still opens. Okay. Nneka said this first season she give it a 10 out of 10, and Wendy rolled her eyes. Andy said the season was frustrating, and it absolutely was. Okay. And they all pretty much, with the exception of Gizelle and Robyn, said that they would try to come to some solution and resolution at this particular reunion. So you can speak about any piece that you want to speak about. In my opinion, and Mia talking about the man is a radio personality. He's a DJ, whatever. In my opinion, your thoughts on the reunion?
Okay. So, I really, for some reason, I just don't First of all, let's talk about Andy, okay? Mm-hmm. Andy was so far detached away from this reunion. I've never seen him like this. He didn't go in the dressing rooms and talk to them. When they broke for lunch, he didn't say none of that nice stuff that he be saying. He got up and left. Like, Andy was so detached. I think they're going to be on hiatus for a while, okay? Mm-hmm. I really hated this because I was like, it felt maligned. And when I say this, it felt like they all had an agenda. And that agenda was, we're going to put this little black girl in her place. Mm. And I say this because every time something happened, it was somebody coming after Candiace. And let's be clear, okay? Candiace can be drugged for a lot of things.
Yes, she can. Come on now, we could
She
talk.
got a smart mouth, okay? And she knows water low too, okay?
Right.
But the stuff that they was coming at her with, the limp, you know what? I didn't say he made me. I didn't say he forced me. Yes, you did. And I love that Bravo rolled that beautiful bean footage to let everybody know he made me feel uncomfortable. He made me go in the dressing room and close the door. Like, when you put those accusations out there, you made him lose his job.
Oh, come on now.
Okay? So whether you meant it like that or not, you said it out of your mouth. And while you was running to production telling them about the threats you was getting, okay? And I really didn't like that they pulled up these text messages or these tweets. And the tweets went, let me tell you something. And Candiace is reckless on Twitter, okay? Mm-hmm. But y'all pulled up one of the most minor tweets y'all could find for her to like, okay? Y'all should have found some real tweets that was good or low. Now, she didn't like some that was good or low. And I don't understand. Y'all found one of the least good or low tweets to show everybody that she liked. Woohoo. They all do it. And Gizelle, for her to say, I only talked about your marriage once. No, because when we was going to BravoCon, she did an interview with people, her and Robyn, and they kept saying this over and over again. So no, you didn't say it just once. Okay? It's not my fault you can't remember the lies that come out of your mouth. And for Ashley to sit there and try to take up for her, okay, let me tell you something. I need you to worry about that man that you rubbing his feet every night.
Oh, sure.
Because you couldn't pay me to rub somebody's feet that I'm supposed to be divorcing. Okay, I don't understand it. Like, what kind of Huckleberry Finn stuff this is? I ain't rubbing your crusty feet. You better go find you a mistress to do that. Like, what? No, I don't understand. I really don't. And then I think it's really low of me to sit here and still push it to the max. You talking to your boyfriend while your husband sitting here in the dressing room, and then y'all gonna say, "Oh, Gordon," he said, "Hey, oh, I like you in the black." Oh yeah, he looks so uncomfortable, and I'm like, how good or low can you go? You sitting here telling this man you love him and how much you respect him, while you still married to this man that's sitting in this room with you. And then you get on the stage and you disrespect not only your marriage, but then you disrespect your kids by saying your child still think, well, this man still think your child is his child. So that child can be picked on and bullied in school. That is ratchet. That is lower than low. And I wouldn't do that for no amount of money. Not to mine.
I agree with you in my opinion. Me either. Savannah, you're up.
Diva, I think just as you were frustrated with last night reunion, so was I. I actually had to watch it a couple of times to see, did I really witness what I witnessed, or hear what I heard, or see what I saw? Because these women just continue to frustrate me, and it just. When I started watching this show, I actually, I was rooting for them and I loved them. And there were, some of them are extremely, I'm fans of them. And I was highly disappointed that we did not get to see Karen's 60th birthday. I didn't understand why they didn't include that in the season. And for her to put it on her Instagram or to showcase it this weekend, that was, I still don't understand why production didn't include that, and that was really sad. This mean girl thing that they had going on last night against Candiace, and I'm no fan of Candiace because of her reckless mouth. And I've always said that Candice is a grown girl. She still has little girl tendencies about her because I believe that Miss Dorothy has always coveted her and protected her. So Candice is to me is a grown girl. She's very reckless with the mouth, and she's a sniper when it comes to confessionals and on Twitter and everything. But when it comes to confrontation, Candice does not know how to battle these women when it comes to confrontation, and she'll go to the FUs and the bombs and the this and that, whereas Gizelle will come back and, like as she did last night, laugh in her face and quickly know how to get under Candice's skin, and just like Monique did and the others did, she'll quickly go where Candice can go and retreat. So I think the props, and I'm so tired of the props. They fell flat. I didn't understand what were these things. Gizelle wasn't going to be upset with her girl about whatever she put on the blogger. That didn't make sense. Whatever, she wasn't going to go against her girl right there at the reunion. I'm pretty sure they hashed that out. So whatever her point was, it fell flat. It didn't make sense to it. I enjoyed that and I agree with, in my opinion, Andy seemed disconnected from the group. I think he put the women on notice last night and let them know, hey, it was uncomfortable. This season was below par. As a viewer, as a producer, you guys didn't bring anything. You didn't bring anything to the table. There was no storylines. I mean, the only person that brought something was Mia, and it was fabricated. It was a full of lies. All her, I don't believe anything Mia got going on. It is nothing but lies. Even though this thing that she got going on with this DJ, stagehand, personality, whatever, hype man, I still don't believe that. That's too much. This is too much with Mia going on right now. It is so ucky and dirty and murky, and for your husband to be high-fiving that, hey man, whatever, that is just so beyond normal to me right now. And you got young children that are gonna see this, and you're over here, hey, say hi to my new boo, and my husband over my shoulder, and they, hey, say hi, and like, this is just so bizarre to me, this going on. But with Robyn, I think that last night, I can understand now why she was or is put on notice of her pink slip pending, because, and it made sense for what Wendy said, why isn't your man here? Why isn't Juan here, in the crossfire with you, defending these stories of last season, and him being, with this receipt. And and I don't understand why Robyn constantly goes for the Grand Dame, knowing that the Grand Dame, Robyn, you're no match for Karen. Karen is a quick, she's quick wit. She's gonna come after you. Like she told her, she said, when they had the question about, oh, you don't know how many your body count, and then she quickly went, no, you're talking about your husband, you're talking about Juan. And then Robyn, you're no match for Karen, and Robyn, has been 8 seasons and you still don't learn that Karen's going to come after you at whatever chance you try to always come and knock Karen down. Karen's always going to come after you, just like she told her when you try to come after me for raise taxes. And she said, well, it was in the paper, it was in the Washington Post. And then she said, that's not a credible source. She's like, what's in the paper? She's like, no, what's in a credible source is that paper, that receipt, that was that hotel receipt, like your man's. That's credible paper. And then Karen, that's why she's a grande dame. So, and the last thing is, I believe Candiace when she says that she believes that uh, what's her name? That oh my goodness, that Robyn and conspired with Gizelle and Ashley to come after her, to come after Chris. I believe that because these were the same characters that conspired against Chris and Monique when they met up in that restaurant. If you recall that Candiace came online when she was having that soup bowl, and she said that there was there was a meeting and a conspiracy to take down Monique and Chris, and these were the same characters. And the reason why, because Candiace was involved in that meeting. So I believe that Candiace saying these were the same people that conspired to take down Chris and Monique. And so that's why she believes that these same people were involved to take her and Chris down. So I believe that Candiace does believe that these people were involved to take her and Chris down. So that's why she believes it. So I'm with and that's why I think Candiace is taking a break from this. So I don't blame her for taking the step back, and I feel sorry for her from the way they were coming at her last night. And she looked better than that picture with her holding the mic stand. So
She did.
I felt bad for her last.
Oh, I did.
I
felt bad for her, and I felt like that. Nobody's really coming. Nobody's backing her up. It was just sad. It was hard to watch. It was hard.
It was. It really was.
And Jazelle is too grown for that. I want to say, what is Candiace? Is she in her late 30s?
I think she was 37. And I want to just give Gizelle a little bit of last night when I watched Gizelle, and I was gonna give her a little grace, because with Gizelle, I think she's in the place of anger because of the passing of her father. And as we all know, there's so many stages of grief. I think Gizelle is in a stage of anger right now. Because she was so mean last night. I couldn't understand her being that mean. And so I just think she's in a place of anger.
I think that's her period, especially when it comes to Candiace. I think that's her period. The laughing, Gizelle. So I'm 54. So they said Gizelle is like 53, 54. There's no way on this earth. There's no way on this earth I would get up on TV or even, non-TV and act the way she acted. You laughed at her. You was like, oh, here come the fake tears. But besides that, let's be clear. Gizelle lied. She lied. You clearly was trying to act as if Chris was trying to do something to you. And now you want to backtrack and try to flip this coin back on Candiace. It was disgusting to watch. And I felt like Andy should have stepped up more. It really pissed me off. Emmanuel, you're up.
Okay, so let's start with something I think that we could all agree. I think I speak for everyone when we say last night showed that Robyn needs to go. It showed that her place is gone. We don't need to see any more of her. It is what it is. And then she's trying to say that they could do a Juan Dixon story. Nah, let's
2 hours. She's delusional.
Yeah, maybe you can work on that. Yeah, maybe you can work on that now that you have some time off. But
yeah,
nah, we don't want to see that. Did y'all notice how Ashley barely said anything? It shows you how little she did this season. But yeah, so anyway, I thought Gizelle was the best dressed, especially sitting down. She looked very flattering. But let's get to it, because I disagree with everyone. First of all, Gizelle didn't mind that she lost that first chair. When Andy said Karen was going to sit there, she was like, oh, that'll be good. And I think that they enjoyed sitting next to each other. Now, Here's the thing. Candiace was fired. If y'all think Candiace willingly left, then I know what to tell y'all. But she was put on pause, and she should have, because Candiace took this way too far. Was Gizelle being extra messy and extra petty? Yes, she was. But it was about time that she did that. Because Candiace has dedicated every week to go on her Twitter. And I see it because I follow her. She does it every single week after the episodes air to attack Jazelle and Robyn. And then she enables her supporters and quacky fans to terrorize these women on the show. Now, no, Candiace doesn't have any control on what people do. But at the same time, when you have that much power, you also have that much responsibility. And you set the tone to how people are going to react to the show. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's careless. And I think it's dangerous. Now, I have never liked Gizelle. I didn't like what she did to Katie, Monique, Charisse, Karen, even Wendy. But with this, the punishment does not fit the crime. Gizelle should not be scared to be on a reality show because people are threatening her life and that of her children. Now, let's talk about Chris. Here's the thing. NECA is right in terms of the law. What Gizelle described was not SA at all. There's a major difference between SA and SH. And Gizelle, I don't think she lied. I don't know exactly what she lied. Well, y'all saying she lied. She might have messed up a few words here and there, but she has maintained the exact same story. She said, Chris said, let's go talk. We went to my hotel room and I felt uncomfortable. And I believe her. I believe her because we've seen the way.
Wait, so Emmanuel, just hold on. I'm gonna let you finish, but let me throw this in there. Gizelle is 54 or 53. We'll come to a common ground. Let's put it at 53. So that means last season when this happened, she was 52. If when you hit 50 and someone says to me, can we talk? And they say, can we go to your room? I'm going to say, hell no. Especially knowing you have a wife. If you got to talk to me, it's going to be out in the open. We can step over here. There is nothing a married man needs to say to me in private. So if she's all going to be that scared or whatever, and she hung around Chris, right? But if you were that scared, why did you say, okay, you knew more than he knew that your room was going to be empty and no one would be there. So why would you say, okay? And then you go, I felt uncomfortable. So the minute though she told him to leave, he left. So where was the story there? You wanted it to be a storyline because if it was a done deal, it could have stayed where it was at. But you brought it back to the show. Why? Because like Candiace said, y'all was plotting and scheming because every season y'all need a storyline and you thought it was cool to use my husband and to pump up something that was nothing and make it a storyline. We got to stop the nonsense. If we're going to talk, let's talk. But go ahead, Emmanuel.
I believe her because we've seen the way that Chris has a temper. He has screamed at Candiace. He has screamed at Ashley. Chris was intimidating to Gizelle, and you can't deny what she felt. And I get the argument that she shouldn't have taken into her hotel room, but you don't know what you're gonna feel until you're in the moment. And I've said it, and I'm sticking to it. No man, especially a married man, should be taking women to hotel rooms. The optics are horrible. You need to have some common sense. We were all here in America during Me Too. We know how you're supposed to act when you're a man, and it involves a woman. Candiace made this bigger than what it was, because Gizelle apologized for calling him a sneaky link at the reunion. She apologized, but this season, even after Karen's PAVE event, Candiace took it upon herself to make this event about her and Gizelle. So everyone again saying, "Oh, Gizelle was being a mean girl." Well, if Candiace has called her, as she said, evil, the devil, an imp, all of this, then yeah, she needs to be a mean girl. Fake tears, fake tears. Candiace wants to be gangster one moment, but then she wants to cry the second. You got to make up your mind, little girl. Last thing, Gizelle did not cause Chris to lose his job. That's not true. Because if that were true, he could have sued her because he's not a cast member. So I think that Gizelle was pushed to this point. I really do. That's all I have to say.
So Giselle didn't make him lose his job, but Candiace made the fans go after Giselle.
His wife is a cast member, and it's in their clauses that they can't sue each other neither.
That's not true because Michael Darby sued Candiace. Now, it didn't fly.
Michael Darby is no longer a part of this cast. He's not signing on anything no more. He didn't sue until after they was through.
But you're saying that it
okay, so hold on
his spouses.
Hold on, Emmanuel. Smokey in the building.
Howdy and salutations, good people. So, what was the question? Because I want to try to stay on track, and I don't want to go for the jugular.
You can speak on any part of the reunion.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll speak based off of the last set of comments on the show. It's very funny that people think that there are no consequences for their actions, whether it's their words or the things that they do, because of Giselle's wordplay salad of "he made me do X, Y, and Z." That man lost his jobs and many opportunities before that, and she did not clear it up, and she kept continuing the situation over and over. Even the one with the woman that said she had something with Chris, but then said she lied. So, in the words of the great Funky Dineva, you can't do wrong by a mother and then tell them how to react. So I believe Candice's reaction has been completely justified. If you come for my family, especially my partner, I'm going for your head until you get it. Clearly, Gizelle has a habitual habit, and I think she probably did this as a first lady, where she likes to just mess up in people's marriage and cause chaos because she's not happy within her own self and her own life whatsoever. So we're going to lay that to rest. Gizelle is just pure evil. We know that is what it is. Now, Mia, I will give kudos to Mia because, listen, what she's doing, we can say flat out for our own vantage point, is messy. But does it happen in real life? Absolutely. So the fact that she was able to get 2 men at a reunion and Robyn couldn't get one, that was just first VIP status. I was here for it all the way. I just hope I'm like, granted, yes, I do understand the concerns about there are children involved and they're going to see this. So it does look bad. But I do kind of have like questions about the timeline because the way she was explaining like how they broke up and like she didn't want to move because she had her job in school, but then like there was still someone in contact. And then it's just the math is not mathing to me to make sense. So it's just like, it seems like he was always in the picture somewhat. And I hope it does last, especially if she does divorce Gordon, because it was all good because Gordon was paying most of the bills. Is the DJ personality able to afford the lifestyle that Mia is looking for or that she wants? I don't know, but I'm willing to see how it play out. Robyn Dixon is utter fail for real. There's nothing left to give. There's nothing left to show. And I think now Juan will have the license to divorce Robyn because she's no longer on the show. No one's really going to care because I think he was trying to save face for her for the most part. But that marriage thing they did last week, that was just for the paycheck. But I think he's over it. He wants to be with Bree or Karen's lookalike because Robyn is just not giving what needs to be given. He called other women beautiful and calls her Rob like they're buddies. Like, if that's not a sign that the man don't want you, don't need you, I don't know what else to tell you. In the words of Ashley Darby, she's still fool-la-la with that man. Ain't no way she gonna divorce him with a $2 million mortgage on her hands and them children. And she knows the show will only cover but so much, and she needs assistance from Michael. So I think he's just transferred their marriage and love relationship to one. I hate to say it like this. It's almost like servitude in a way where it's just like you rub my back and you do this for me and I'll do this for you. So it's an exchange of like caring for the children and still giving my check. So other than that, I thought the reunion overall was good. I thought for me, because I'm trying to get past of the days of Roa and what we used to have. Like this is the best that they can offer, and there's some fabricated authentic drama happening. So I think this is the good that they can give. I am looking forward to next week with what Gordon has to say and how that plays out and what like him and me are crying about. But I'll give them a solid, like the reunion was like a 7.58. I'll give them that. Like it was all right.
I'm with you on that, Smoke. I appreciate it. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chat. Gizelle did it to Michael the first season in the beach house. She said he made her uncomfortable. This is her play. I don't know. I thought it was very reckless, and I think she knew what she was doing. I'm over her. I don't want to see her on the TV screen no more, to be very honest with you. My screen shifted a little bit, but I will get to everybody. So E, you're up.
Well, hello.
Okay.
You know, I have a lot to say. I think I have about 6 bullets. Gizelle was the first one out, just to sit in the second chair. And, that old who's sitting here, the grand dame takes first chair. But did we expect anything less? I do have to commend Gizelle and revise my previous comments because Gizelle looked great. Her hair was one of the best. And I had to get into it. And then that hating Wendy sitting across from Aneka, because Aneka is sitting on the winner side of the couch and Wendy is stuck between those two crickets, Candice and Ashley. Oops. You got to get into it. The only way you could sit on that side of the couch as Ashley, Wendy, and Candice is if you were in the first year like Mia, because we have to be real. Ashley, Wendy, and Candice did not have a good season this year. Next, Andrew asking, what's her name? Robyn, about her swallowing skills. I don't understand what about swallowing gives you bragging rights when the man is getting his nails done with some other woman and the pictures are all online and he's paying for hotel rooms for another woman and the Negro lost his job. I only speak for me. I'm not swallowing anything that comes from an unemployed, cheating man. That tastes like poverty and female germs to me. Oops. So when Andrew asks her straight up, do you think Juan cheated? And she said, I can't speak to anything for sure. My question was, why did you marry this Negro? Why is he not here? Because the only person who can speak to her for sure is Juan. And she swears there's nothing to find and she has nothing to hide. Well, why isn't he there then? That's my whole point. So I felt like she was so not needed. When Ashley said Michael declined to come previously, just like Juan is doing, and then we have Mia and Gordon both present despite what is going on in their marriage, to me, that solidified how transparent Mia and Gordon are and how inauthentic Robyn and Ashley are. They're cowards. They're deceptive. And they are failing to meet the requirements of their position. You're on reality TV. You owe us a piece of your life. You owe us the truth. And we will not be going to Patreon to pay for it. You're a trick. Now dance and entertain me, bird. Gizelle versus Candice. Candice lost. Point blank simple. Be clear. Candice lost last year. The moment she aligned herself with that wasteful, weak, and whiny Wendy, the moment Candice and that wasteful Wendy tweeted those colorism things and then got on stage and said there was no colorism, you lost. You had the winning bullet and you didn't shoot your shot. So because after that reunion, as soon as Candice went back to work, Gizelle went to HR. She didn't wait till her father passed. Gizelle went to HR last year. As soon as those tweets came out, she took a screenshot. If I was a betting woman, I bet she sent them to HR right then in an email. And she said that she was receiving threats due to Candice, and Candice liked the tweet. She acknowledged that. I told y'all when it aired earlier in the season, I told y'all in that moment that was going to be the end of Candice, because unlike Candice, Gizelle is not going to back down. She had the HR team behind her, and she said it. I was told she was going to be talked to, meaning Candice would receive some sort of disciplinary action, and rightfully so. That's what I got from that. This played out precisely how I expected it to. Like Nene told Sheree, Candice, you riding with the wrong team. Everything Wendy touches turns to mud. Why do you think her family and Eddie's family shun away from her? It's not an accident. Just like you said, Diva, Wendy didn't have your back at all because Wendy was doing something else. Second to last thing. When it comes to Gizelle and Chris going to the hotel room, I honestly think that Gizelle forgot she even said Chris made her go into the bedroom and close the door, because the way that she was going on and on, I can't say that I believe that she lied. I think she honestly forgot. But production, thankfully, and Karen reminded Gizelle, and they were sitting there on that sofa, and they instructed her to take accountability, to which Gizelle did. She apologized to Candiace. That was good enough for me. I ain't got no problem with it. My problem with that package was that Robyn specifically brought up the screenshots of Chris and his limp noodle, but she never finished addressing Juan and his problematic screenshots in the hotel receipt with the woman from Montreal. See, this is what folks were talking about. You want to hold up a mirror to someone else's marriage, but Candiace and Chris came to the reunion as husband and wife. Robyn wants to pick that apart and throw darts at it, but Juan is nowhere in sight. And she wanted to charge $12.99 or whatever the price was for us to listen to her deny everything we read on page 6 and make it seem like all is well in Dixonville. Absolutely not. Robyn did the same thing to Mia when Robyn got in her confessional, and she said Mia the stripper thought she was going to live a life of leisure. Well, allegedly, Robyn the builder decided to adopt a street cat named Juan when he was 17 years old, but instead of loving him like a brother, okay, as he was living under the same roof as her as an adolescent, you married this stray like you were a grown woman, and you settled for this man being in love with you, but he loves you like his sister because he said that. But he talks to you like you're an unwanted stepchild, and he cheats on you like he's some underground Memphis bookie. The fairy tale is over with that. Now, my last thing is this. How do I want to phrase this? Mia is the biggest pimp on the show. And I've been telling you all this for 3 seasons. I remember there was a time I was the only one riding for Mia. And I've been telling y'all this for a while. I love to see it. Mia is FaceTiming her fiance in front of her husband, and I'm right here keeping score. City girls up. And before I get on Mia, before I even go there, did anybody catch that dehydrated, wasteful, weak and whiny Wendy? As soon as they took lunch break, Wendy ran up to G behind backstage and hugged him and looked directly at the camera. Wendy is so thirsty for attention and for camera time. Wendy is the biggest hater on that couch because everything she ever wanted out of that platform, Mia and Aneka came on after her and got it. Andrew likes Mia and Aneka better than Wendy. The other girls like Mia and Aneka better than Wendy. And Mia and Aneka look better than Wendy. And Wendy is jealous about it. And let me tell you how I know Wendy is jealous. Just 2 seasons ago, Wendy said to Robyn, let's leave the kids out of the drama with the adults. Don't come for my kids. I remember she said that. And then we fast forward to last night. What's the first thing Wendy did during Mia's package? No one was looking at Wendy. Nobody was talking to Wendy. And the first thing she said, well, Mia, I don't know if you heard, but Gordon told me and Eddie, blah, 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 blah. Mia is sitting first chair. Do you really think Andy wasn't going to ask the question about the paternity when we just saw it in the package? Wendy couldn't wait to bring up Ink coming to the house and trying to take Jeremiah. Wendy, what she did was deplorable because she only cries for protection when it comes to her and her children and her happy husband. I think Wendy should have sat back all the way back. And I think that she needs to wait until her package comes because I'm telling you, when it's time for Wendy, her mama Susie, and that happy husband of hers, I don't think she's going to like what the conversation is going to be. Wendy, you look terrible last night. Period.
Ooh.
Remind the people, I thought kids was
I love you,
limit.
sis.
Wendy must have slept with Eve, man. All that
I love
venom.
you, sis.
I don't think that my man will want the 419, but okay, go on.
Sebastian, did I skip you?
No, you didn't skip me. It's my turn.
Come on,
Okay,
Sebastian.
Go ahead.
Okay. What we saw last night and some saw this morning on Peacock was a group of women who are unwilling to participate with this show. That's what we saw. But what else we saw was women, and we saw a girl. Yes. We saw women, and then we saw a girl. Diva.
Come on, Sebastian.
Calm down, Diva. Calm down. You know, this show and these type of reality shows are not designed for everybody. They're not. They're not designed for everyone, especially for people who are not established enough by themselves to be on these shows and be ready for certain things. When you want to engage in social media when it comes to hate towards another cast member, you absolutely should be fired or forced to resign. Absolutely. There's no way in hell anyone here on this panel, if you work for corporate America or whatever, someone's talking about your colleague outside of your work and you would be engaging with that person, pushing them. It's a very dangerous thing to do. And Candice has done that. As my sis E talked about the colorism, Candice has liked tweets about colorism. Candice, I remember a couple of seasons ago, Candice wished unaliving on a blogger. Oh, may his soul rest in peace. May his or her soul, I forgot who. But may their soul rest in peace because that blogger died. That blogger has left this earth a couple weeks after Candice did her whole wishing. So when you want to be reckless with words, when you want to be reckless with your little fingers on the social media and stuff, there will be consequences. There will be consequences. And Gizelle did her right. Fake tears, cry, fake tears. Because you want to be a big girl behind the screens. You want to be a big girl in the confessionals. You want to be a big girl on the social media apps and stuff. But you can't be a big girl at this reunion.
Period.
You can't be a big girl at this reunion. I'm pretty sure when you're spewing your hate, engaging with your followers about said hate, you are not, when you're liking and stuff like that, I don't see, there's probably no cry angle next to you. What about the times that Gizelle may have cried because she's gotten threats? People keep forgetting this. When you engage your crowd, it gets very problematic. Giselle's home is on national television. So is Candice's. So is everyone else's on this show. So is everyone else's. But one thing we can say, I know she said, oh, everyone receives unaliving threats on the show. Everyone has. But these threats that Gizelle received were due to a narrative that you and Wendy Osefo pushed on national television, and that was called colorism.
Period.
It was reckless. It was reckless. Diva, I know you're going to have to take an Advil later, but it's okay. It was reckless. It was absolutely reckless what she and Wendy did. Completely. And I know some people are saying, "Oh, this her husband." Listen, if Candice cared about her husband really, she would have never brought him back on the show after the whole thing happened. She would have been like, "You know what? We're gonna have to sit you down. We're gonna have to get you out of here so we don't have to talk anymore about you."
That part.
She could have done that.
Good point.
We haven't been seeing Juan that much on the show, even before the cheating stuff. She could have did that, but no, that's not what she did. When it comes to the allegations of that Gizelle made, Gizelle never said SA. That was the fans that implied SA. And last time I checked, implications are not facts. Implications are feelings, and in the court of law, they take facts over feelings. Last time I checked, the people can imply SA. Her words, she didn't imply SA to me. She said that he made her feel comfortable in that hotel room. That's what I heard. He made her feel uncomfortable. And mind you, this was after the reunion that Nicki Minaj hosted, and Chris was pissed at the fact that Nicki was talking about Candice's low views and downloads on the iTunes store.
Indeed.
Yet some of you guys want to act as if, no, he probably was fine in that room and stuff like that. Gizelle literally stated that she thought her glam and her crew was in the room, and that's why she went in. That's what she said. I've had to watch that thing multiple times just to understand it. At first, I didn't care about Gizelle. I never cared about Gizelle. But looking at it now, what she has said, there are some credibility. When they came in, When they went into the room, he probably was like, "We can close the door. Can we close the door?" He was like, let's close the door and then talk." He was drunk. She was in the room. She thought that Cal and her crew were going to be there. They went out, I think, for some food or something. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Chris Bassett needs to deal with his drinking before we talk about Gizelle and her reckless words.
Talk, Sebastian.
If he wasn't at home taking his gin or scotch or whatever he drinks all the time, or at these reunions doing that, and acting recklessly and thinking there aren't consequences, well, this is the thing. He may not remember everything because he wasn't sober. He was not sober. The same way the same way Karen Huger wasn't sober on that road a couple of days ago. Ooh. When you're sober, that's when you make aware of everything. You're aware of everything. You are conscious of everything.
Then you must not be sober now.
I am very sober right now. I'm very sober. I don't drink. I'm very sober. My thing is, y'all all want to drag Gizelle. This woman has lost her father. Her daughter went away for college. She only has the twins, and the twins might be leaving soon anyway because they're only 1 year late, in between from the main daughter. It's completely BS. It's completely BS. Gizelle said the right thing. Cry, Candice, cry, because you made your bed in this show and you're going to lay in it. When you participated in the icing out of Monique Samuels,
period,
you were part of the team with Gizelle, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
You were part of that team.
Yeah, who led that charge?
You were part of the narrative, pushing that narrative that child was the trainer's child.
Thank you, in my opinion.
Who led that charge?
Remember
Thank
that?
you, in my opinion.
Who led it?
Narrative?
Karma comes back.
You remember when you were pushing that narrative? Remember that. There was no implication of SA. The only implication of SA is the fans. The fans are the ones pushing this implication of SA. There was no implication of SA at all. I'm sorry for saying main daughter, the single daughter. There's no implications of SA at all. At all. There was none. She said she felt uncomfortable.
Call security.
Can I ask a question, Diva?
The same way sometimes,
because I'm about to come.
The same times when people feel uncomfortable when certain people look at them in the elevator.
Sebastian, I'm gonna need you to wrap this up because
you're uncomfortable.
You're all over the place. You're making me uncomfortable.
Thank you.
Because this is just insanity. Listen,
I'm officially Team Gizelle.
Two things could be true, right? We already know Candiace got a mouth on her. And I said it on here before, and I'll say it again. She got a mouth on her. But let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. What Gizelle did to Chris was reckless. It was wrong. And she insinuated something sinister. When she said he's a sneaky link, Ashley, Gizelle, and Robyn, in my opinion, did come together. They were in cahoots, and that's why Ashley brought that Devorah character on there too. And she helped continue the lie, and then she threw Eddie into it to say, happy Eddie. And then she also said, and they had to show it, that, yeah, Chris was coming for me at the bar, giving me all kinds of looks whatsoever. And then they showed the footage, and Chris was paying her dust.
Don't forget about him feeling on the booty.
Right, and feeling on the booty. So let's be clear. They had a plan because they always make a plan before the show, all of them now, to say, who are we coming after? What's going to be our storyline? What are we going to push? But Gizelle went too far. When you as a grown woman, you 53, 52, forget it. I'll drop her down to 50. And someone comes up to you, but it's not just anyone. It's a person's husband that you know that has cooked for you, that you have eaten his food. And he comes up to you and say, I gotta holler at you. So that tells me that he hollered at her before. Like, I gotta talk to you because your girl bugging. Listen, couples do that all the time. Let me tell you what your girl been doing. She acting up. Gotta talk to her. So if you felt uncomfortable, you're going to talk about, oh, he knew my room was vacant. You know that's your room. So you knew nobody was in your room. So you say, nah, let's talk right here. Come over here. Nobody going to hear us. Nobody going whatever. So you brought that up and you dragged it out. And even your girl Robyn thought you was going too far with that. So Robyn tried to stop the train wreck that they had going by going to Candiace and saying, nah, I don't think it. But I do believe, like Candiace said, initially you was in on the plan. And then when you saw that it was getting too sinister and it was no longer a joke and it was impacting Chris and Candiace's life, that's when Robyn wanted to pull out and pull back. Let's be clear. What they did was a hot mess. What they did was wrong. Candiace is also younger than Robyn and Gizelle. At what point do you as an adult, and like somebody mentioned, this is a former first lady, and that's why the world is jacked up right now with the Diddies and the whoever else, you know, tricking and doing all kind of stuff to people because nobody wants to hold nobody accountable. And you want to tell me at your big age, at 50, you want to be on some 30-something-year-old and acting a fool. She's still young in the mind. She still got to get her life together. She's young. She's on this big platform making money. And then on top of that, unfortunately, Candiace's mom got a mouth. So she gets it from her mom. Candiace's mom, what's her name? Is whatever. She reckless. Slapping Candiace up. Miss Dorothy is reckless. Slapping Candiace up with pocketbooks, so
She didn't slap her. She did not slap her.
Whatever.
It just happened to get her face.
The point is, Candiace's mom, Dorothy, is reckless. So
but remind them that she didn't feel uncomfortable when they were sitting in Candiace's house when Candiace wasn't there. She was sitting there with Chris eating the food. She wasn't uncomfortable then.
Come on now. So you got Candiace in her 30s. You got Gizelle in her 50s. And what is Robyn? Is Robyn in her 40s?
Mid 40s or early 40s.
Mid 40s, early 40s.
That's all.
And you gonna say to me that this is okay? No, Gizelle is a bully. Gizelle is running the show. And if you don't think Gizelle wasn't bothered about not being that first seat, okay, I got some stuff I want to sell you.
Diva, can I just make a point? Because I just want to go back because it was established earlier that Candiace is responsible for what she puts out on social media. Fine. If that is the baseline, then Gizelle's also responsible for the words she says out of her platform because she knows how her fans like to take things and lead with their own interpretations and make things that want to take them on 20. So if we're going to have a consistent baseline, let's hold all the ladies accountable and not, like Candice say, keep moving the line when it suits our favors. That's all. But go ahead, Diva.
I agree with you, Smoke.
Moving the line is ridiculous. Mel, I'm up to you.
Well, you know what, Diva, I totally agree with you about Gizelle. I think for me, Gizelle was getting basically her just desserts on Twitter. I think that she took it too far with the audience. I think that's what happened. This has been 8 years of this behavior. I'm tired of this woman who can't keep a man talking about other people with their husbands.
Come on.
So for me, this is what gets in my mind. She was in drag because she had a disagreement at a reunion. She was dragged because the audience got tired of her after 8 years. She reminds me of Tamra Judge, to be quite honest, because Tamra Judge and OC is a nasty piece of work. She would just do anything. So she definitely reminds me of Tamra Judge. And I think that for me, Gizelle last night at the reunion, she was having flashbacks. She was having flashbacks of her heyday in 1937 when she was hazing the girls. That's what she was doing. She was up there having a real good time being mean. And I would have said, if that was me, I would say, oh, we playing those games? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a party. And I'm going to call Hampton University. And I'm also going to call Sing Sing. And I'm going to call all your disgruntled sorority sisters. And I want to find out all the politically incorrect way you were hazing them. And I want to have them come to the party. Now, Robyn, I didn't forget you either, like Juan does. I want to invite the nail lady. I want to invite the candle lady. And I want to invite the laundromat lady to the party too. Because the thing is, when we cuss you out when you deserve to be cussed out, you all play victims. So now we're going to play the game like you do. We're going to play dirty. And so I think for me, that was what I kind of got from that too. I think that also Gizelle, for me, you know what I noticed too? She uses her, she does this for 8 years. She uses her daughters. Every time she gets into argument, she invokes my daughters have been hurt. She did that with Candiace, she did that with Wendy, and she did that with Karen. Every time she even did a little bit at the reunion. She uses those girls. And my question to Gizelle is, you mean to tell me your girls weren't hurt when you were using them on the dates with these men who didn't respect you? You had them on picnic blankets at the park, and with these men who didn't want to spend time with you. But you up here talking about the people on the show they getting hurt by the girls on the show. I don't believe that. I think that you've done more psychological turmoil to those girls than any kind of disagreement you had on the show. I think Gizelle, for me, she's the cancer of the show. And that's why, for me, I didn't really care who leaves the show. Now, I love Candiace as a character. But for me, it doesn't matter if Candiace leaves, Wendy leaves, or anybody leaves. The show is going to be the same as long as Gizelle is there. She's sitting there, and she, to me, is the cancer of the show. If she's there, it's going to stay the same way. So, that's kind of that's how I go to that for me. I think that basically what Gizelle's staying on the show, she makes that group emotionally sick. She makes it really dark. She makes it really sick, and you really can't move. You can't move anywhere. I think that that's the problem. Another thing, I don't think anybody on that cast need to be perfect. Let's just get that straight. None of those women on that cast are perfect. Obviously, me and nobody's perfect. So I think it's really crazy to me that the cast, because I want to focus on the cast. I want to talk about it. The cast themselves require certain members of the cast to be perfect. And none of them are perfect. They all play this game, and they all have skeletons in the closet. And also, what's her name? Gizelle. We don't know her real life. The only time we know her life is when accidentally and tragically,
come on now,
something happens in her life, whether somebody dumped her, God forbid somebody dies in her family, or oh my gosh, or she has a medical scare. We don't know anything. So for 8 years, you mean to tell me the audience is not going to turn against her? Of course they will. They'll be like, wait a minute, you don't come to the show or anything. And when the people ask you your question, you tell them to your face on camera, I'm not answering you. So that's the part I get mad with the girls on the show. See, Jazelle and Robyn are a joke to me. I would forgive my French. No, I'm not going to go there because I will go there. I would not answer not one damn thing they asked me. I would laugh in their faces. I just simply wouldn't do it, because the simple fact is you can ask me for anything when you're not giving me anything in return. I'm not playing that game with you. And if I can't cut you out online, if I can't give you what I feel that moment, then I'm going to play the game that you play, be right in your face smiling, and you're going to accidentally see all your enemies in the party. Because you said Deborah, that whatever that lady was, she was fine. She should have been there. It was Candiace for. So if that's the case, you all have enemies now. You all do. So we're going to have these parties, and we're going to invite your enemies to the party, see how you handle that. Or will you be running for the hills with your security guards? So the thing for me here, I'm not sure if I'll be watching the show next year, but yeah, Gizelle definitely is. She's a problem. She's definitely the problem, and she was in her power last night. I think you said it earlier too. We saw the true face of Gizelle last night when she was doing all that kind of crap and stuff like that. She really don't care about anybody but her own family. And I don't think she cared about Robyn, to be honest with you, because she takes a couple of low blows for her over the years too. So Gizelle's a nasty piece of work. And I think that the only way you can take her down is the way they took down Tamra Judge for a little bit. They kind of had to break her. They literally had to break her on camera, and they all teamed up against her, and then she had to go on pause for a little bit. And I think Gizelle is just that kind of lady that needs that too. If you don't, it's going to be the same show. It's going to be toxic. It's going to be a dry. This season was terrible, and it was all because of Gizelle. It was all because of her. And I want to say another thing too. I want to say a little thing. So Gizelle has a producer who I do know. In New York City, in the gay community, you all kind of know each other. And his name is Patrick Madonna, I believe his name is. If you go to her Instagram, you will see that man there. Now, mind you, Patrick, no, I'm allegedly, but in New York City, we all kind of know each other. Patrick was a hot mess. He was a hot party boy mess, and he was a hot mess. Then he showed up on Fire Island on Logo, which he described his health conditions and how hot mess he was. But that was also connected to Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen was connected to that show because of Kelly Ripa and stuff like that. So I'm shocked that Patrick, of all people who I kind of know, is a producer, because he was a hot mess. So when I'm seeing that Andy is hiring party boys that he's friends with, allegedly, that to me also, because I know a little bit about that, that also is the reason why this show is going down. Yeah, it's true. I know a little bit of in New York City. We all kind of know each other. We heard many things about Andy here too. So Patrick is Gizelle's producer, and that's if Andy is hiring party boys, and it's all legend, but the boys here we all know, that's really the reason why the quality of the show is going down, because they're not hiring really good people. He's just hiring friends that he is known in the nightlife, basically. So, Miss Diva, you know what? I don't want you to get no headache. You're doing a good job. My intention is just to have fun tonight. But yeah, that reunion last night was a hot, stinking mess. And even at the beginning, when Andy was trying to be civilized, he was like, "Okay, let's set the intention that we can have a communication." What was the two that decided to go left? It was Gizelle and Robyn. They couldn't even be civilized as grown women to say, yes, you know, we're here to come to, you know, to an understanding to get some things done. They had to hold a grudge for what? You know, every year you've come there and you've maligned people, you've talked about people so badly, and when they have a reaction to it, you want to also try to critique them about their reaction. That's crazy to me. Now the thing is, they're lucky they're on the show, because in the real world, forgive me, they would have got their butts whipped. They would have got whipped real fast, because nobody's going to tolerate that crap. So, you know, it just was a hot stinking mess.
It was a hot stinking mess.
But I would say one last thing, Mia. I was gonna say the Mia thing too, because I'm gonna go with Gizelle. That was Gordon. I'm confused by him. I really am, Miss Steve. I'm very confused by Gordon, because I don't know what's going on there. I was shocked that literally my mouth was open. I was like, how is he talking to the next man, to Mr. Ink? I didn't understand that scene, that where they were saying they loved each other and they can't wait to see each other, and G's behind them. I thought that was insane. I'm thinking, what did I miss? How is this happening? You're still married. G is obviously still hurt. So that kind of threesome between them was very weird.
Well, he's broken, Mel, right? He's broken, he's hurt, and this man is in his 70s, right? So he's in his second half, probably last quarter of his life, right? And so he knows what he allowed in the relationship. And it's like he's between a rock and a hard place. He still loves Mia, right? And so he's at the point where whatever he can get from her, he'll take from her. And it appears as if she, from this job on the Real Housewives of Potomac, the table has turned, and she's probably supporting him with her money. So it's like he's dealing with it, and he's broken, and it's sad.
I'm sad for both of them, because they have children together, and I think the paternity thing was it was shocking last week, and it was still shocking no matter how it came up. I really didn't care about that, but their relationship is very shocking, and I'm sad for them, because Mr. Gordon, he's a very old man, and I don't see any kind of happy outcome for him. I don't know, but I do want Mia to be happy. I want them all to be happy. So it's a very weird situation to see, and maybe that we can understand it during a reunion, but I was surprised that he was saying hello to Ink. I was like, what's going on? This is crazy.
Yeah, he's defeated, and it's like nothing else he could do, because probably the fact that she's with Ink, she can give G the money that he needs to have to move to this condo, so he could just pretty much be, I mean, he is the father, but so he could be the babysitter, the nanny. So Mia could run around in town and do whatever she wants with Ink. It's a mess, and it's sad. Catalina, thank you for the super chat. Emmanuel, E, and Sebastian delivered. I love you guys. Diva, I love you too, but we were not connected today. Still love you though. Love you back. And I understand that we're always not all going to be connected, and I'm okay with that. But I just think, for this to be a show of sisterhood, it's getting nasty and it's toxic, and I'm over it. Juanita, you're up.
Okay, I just want to say, this show has gone to trash. Gizelle is a lying, cheating, evil snake, and she does everything she can to come for people's marriages because she's not married, and she has done this ever since she's been on the show. Every couple that was married, she had something to say. She's a liar, she's deceitful, and all of the above. But I think she needs to be on pause as well, because she used her daughters and as well to say that the death threats were coming to her and her family. Well, it's like Candice said, she was getting death threats as well. They all say reckless stuff on Twitter because I be reading it, and it's all reckless. So one is no better than the other. But Gizelle has just gotten out of hand. I think, especially with her going to human resources and all this stuff, she's been trying to get rid of Candice. She's been trying to get rid of Wendy, but they had the ball in their court, but they didn't take the favor of it. So that's on them. But Gizelle is wrong. I hate Candice is going to be gone. Yes, Candice do have a sharp tongue, and sometimes she talks too much, and then she runs scared when it comes time to fight. She get out the way. But it's just a mess. And as far as Robyn is concerned, yes, I'm glad she's going to be gone because she wasn't bringing anything. She sat on that show for years and rolled up under Giselle's coat wing and got away with stuff. And she too attacked people's marriages. And when it got to her business, she ain't want to have nothing to say or talk about. So, she needs to go as well. And I'm hoping they'll put Gizelle on pause. Now, as far as Mia, that was so disgusting to sit up there. You still married to this man, and you are going to have your man on FaceTime telling him you love him, and then going to throw it up in your husband's face and talk to him while and say, hey, say hi, G, hi. That was just disgusting. It was just really just outrageous. I just kind of feel sorry for G, but then I don't, because what goes around comes around. Because he cheated on his wife, so he knew Mia was younger than he was. So what did he expect? And especially he gave it an okay to go. But what I'm hoping is once the divorce is in place, I hope that his family, his brothers, will get back with him and give him back his money and put him back on the right track. So I'm hoping they're just waiting for Mia to get out of the picture. So, but this season has been a reckless mess.
It has been. So Catalina, thank you for the super chat. She said Karen went to HR as well after the fight with Monique. She saw the girl has a problem. # toxic work environment.
Choo choo.
Very true.
Oh my God.
Same person
AA.
twice.
She put AA Karen. So I'm guessing
Everybody's going to HR about Candice. That's
I know
right.
she's going to talk about alcohol anonymous.
But
Katrina,
all of them are reckless. All of them have done and said things that they shouldn't have said. And it's just like I said, it's going to the trash. And it need to be, the cast need to be reevaluated.
Yeah.
Because it's just not, it's not working.
It's not working. We need the blueprint of Roa when Roa first started. That was a show. That was a show when Roa first started with Nene and actually had a husband, Greg Leaks. Okay. Candy. Listen, that was a show back then. And we had the hairdressers on the show. I mean, that was a show. This right here is beyond toxic. Katrina, you're up. Are you there, Katrina?
I think Miss Susie done got something to do with this. Is she at the altar?
But Diva, can I say one thing? I want to. Can I say one thing? I was saying the show. If the show is toxic, and we're saying it is, are we now saying that the show will be fixed with Robyn and Candice gone? Are we saying that the show will be? Nobody will be frustrated with Gizelle. That's one thing for me is that I don't care if Candice or whoever. I like her individually. I support her projects, but I'm talking about the show. The show is still in trouble. So that's what for me. I'm open to all type of things, but if the show is not fixed, then what are we talking about? The show is going to be the same way in the ninth year.
Oh no, I'm saying
no, Miss Janita. No, ma'am. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general, not you.
I'm just saying in general. Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, Mel. It doesn't matter them shifting characters around, pushing people out. Yes. You're right. It's not the cancer is still there, and the cancer is Gizelle.
Absolutely. It needs to go back to the sophisticated show that it started out being.
Yes.
Without Gizelle and Robyn.
Just get rid of Wendy, and then we're good.
Get rid of Gizelle.
Yes, get rid of Wendy.
Well, but let me ask
Wendy
you.
and
Can I
Candice get
ask
out,
you?
it'll
Wendy
be
is
a
not
great
half as
show.
bad as Jazelle.
Right. Can I ask you one thing?
Jazelle is evil.
Now, I was going to say the E. So the thing is, I don't see the people that you talked about as the person who's, in people's business, acting stuff and doing all this, the chaos. I don't see, mouth and reaction is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about deep, dark evilness to the person. I need that off the damn show. I need a dog.
Giselle.
Wendy is malicious.
You know what's funny though? Hold on, because I'm gonna let Katrina and then I'm gonna close out. But you want to know what's interesting though. So when Andy asked Karen and Robyn to say nice things to each other, Karen ain't really had nothing much nice to say about Robyn, and Robyn was sitting there twisting up the face. But it's like when someone else does it, they could tolerate it. It's not as bad. They don't get as mean. They don't get as low. They don't get as nasty, right? She just made faces at Karen and was like, see, whatever. But if that had been Candiace, it would have been World War III. It's the unbalance was very clear last night. It's toxic, it's unfair, and it's a whole hot mess. And I'm just not. It's like, why am I watching this? Nobody minds. Like he said, right?
Amen.
Conflict is conflict, but when there's no resolution, because you want to sit up there and say, I will never speak to Candiace again ever. Like, it's like, girl, bye. What I feel Jazelle did, give me a minute. What I feel Jazelle did was she knew what she did to Chris was wrong. So she found an opportunity to flip the script. So she comes back and says she's been getting these threats. So now everybody could kind of give Candiace the side eye and we could sweep under the table what she did to Chris, which was so egregious, because she can sit there and act like I never said that. And I don't care what cast member sits on that couch. I don't think it's SA. Girl, if you're saying you're afraid of a man and you are a female, what the heck do you think that alludes to?
Come on.
It can mean many things.
Right there. We gotta stop the nonsense.
No, it can't. No, it can't. Let's stop. Let's not be intellectually dishonest. It cannot mean many things.
Right.
No, but Diva, here's what you're saying.
Hold on 1 second. Because you know what? If it was my son, and someone is sitting there saying, oh, I felt uncomfortable when he was there, this, that, and the other. It's just a mess. It's dead wrong. And she plays around with other people's husbands because she don't freaking have one.
Come on now.
She never had one that protected her and loved her. And that's why she doesn't know what it is like. You know,
exactly.
You want to sit there and play with someone else's life, someone else's husband. Listen, I felt how I felt about Monique. But when it comes to the kids and you want to go around spreading this rumor that the little baby is not Chris's son, it's reckless.
The kids are off limit.
It's the kids. Yeah, it's just
not about Candiace.
But she constantly does that to other marriages.
Absolutely.
And Robyn could care less about a marriage because Juan doesn't love and protect her, and he doesn't even like her. He like what's the name said? Wendy said, your man wouldn't show up and try to take 1, 2, 3 bullets for you. No, he don't. Right. Every time you had to go face something, he made you face the music on your own. I know friends, forget about my man. I know friends that be like, no, girl, I'm going to come and show up for you. Ask them, can I get a chair behind you? This man who you claim you're 10 toes down for each other, 28 years in the game, and that he won't show up for you. Right. Get out of here. That's some BS right there.
It is.
There,
can I say something after?
Give me a minute. You're taking every hit. You're taking every sideline. And Juan won't show up for you even when he knows that check is impacting your household in a big way. And that man, he's a punk that he can't come sit at a reunion for at best 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Because after a while, if you do the history of these shows, Andy don't even keep the men up on the stage that long. He's a punk.
Absolutely.
He's a punk.
And Robyn is a fool.
He worse than a
about
punk.
what all she do to him, and then she see what he think about her.
That's right.
The show needs to go on hiatus.
Yeah,
He worse than a punk, Diva, because even a punk has some backbone in him. He ain't got no backbone in him. He sat on this TV and told us he wish he could find somebody he could love.
That part. And she's still sitting there talking about we love each other and you could do a 2-hour special on him. No, thank you, Robyn. Nobody's gonna watch. Katrina, you're up.
Mama Susie at it again.
Oh no, she was talking. I heard her.
Well, I don't know, Katrina. This ain't her night.
I think she's having problems because she keeps dropping.
Did she try coming back up, going down and coming back up to see?
She tried several times. We got to go. Listen, y'all. Listen. Juan never stands on business. And just like Wendy said, your man should have been here. Listen, G came and G stand on that nonsense.
And Diva, mind you, they even
where's Jazelle boyfriend that's same age as her daughters?
They even talked about Michael coming right after he cheated on Ashley.
And he did come and he sat there and he let her know after that I never come again. Katrina, it's your last chance.
That's unfortunate.
Her equipment ain't working tonight. I'm sorry.
Man.
Okay, listen, guys, we're closing out. Real Housewives of Potomac. I hope this thing ain't 3 parts, but it seems like it's about to be 3, right? But I'm gonna see. I'm just this whole G and Mia thing tragic. Even if that is her man, I think both of them, they're both immature because he should have said, you know what? Handle your business and I'll be on there next season, but we don't got to do this right now. Close that thing out with G. Close that thing out with G. And then we'll be together next season because you know what I'm saying? But to do that right there, I thought it was reckless. I thought it was messy. But listen, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all. If y'all didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button going out. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye. Tomorrow is trending topics, and I will try my best. I will try my best not to do a Diddy topic, okay? Unless he gets clinked up. Listen, guys, good night and goodbye. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Good night.